Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to episode 170 of Shunya One.
Yes.
It's
Is it an
it's a
episode?
little different from the others.
Yeah, but is it an episode? I guess that is a question, right?
That's also true. That's also true. I
Because I
think it
I, I mean like in
it
have we
goes out
done
like an episode.
it does go out like an episode, but we've
People are
done
listening to it thinking this is an episode.
that is true. So I guess we
And
should maybe consider it to be an episode. It's more of an announcement than an episode though.
that's true.
It's
That's
just
true. But we've
yes.
done this before. We've done this before. I think for everyone listening, hey, you made it this far. This is episode 170. And,
Yes.
Shunya One has really done some awesome episodes all this while
Okay, so
between
just
Amit
just
and
I
I.
think we should I think we need to kind of like preface this a little bit before people kind of get a little shocked. We're not ending the
Uh-huh.
show because this sounds like we're
Exactly.
saying that the show is over and this no, we're not ending the show, or rather the show is not ending. The show will
Correct.
go on, I guess, as they say. But
Absolutely. The show will
uh
go on. In fact, last month we had to take a little bit of a break.
mhm.
I think we missed a few weeks for folks who were sort of waiting for an
Yeah,
episode to drop.
no,
I
and
I
that
think it's
that
just been another
it's
chaotic
hectic.
time going
It,
back to work for you,
yeah,
Amit. I think you've been going back to the studio. Today's like a weekend, so we're
mhm,
home again. I've been going back to work, going back,
yeah.
had some travel. So on one end, life seems to be coming back to normal.
It
uh,
is, but that also leads to a lot of. I mean, like, let's just kind of lay out what's going to happen. Let people know. I'm going to
sure.
drop off the show from going forward. Shiladitya will be hosting the show solo, and the one of the things that became clear, I think, in this last 1 month's miss that we had was that man, it's been 5 years since we started, and we both gotten significantly busier than we were back then. Back then, it was like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to record? Yeah, I want to record. Sure, let's record. And it was just like, okay,
Let
let's do
and,
it.
and we used to show up. We used to
Yeah,
show up in the studio.
it was
We used to
literally
like
yeah,
block a few hours of, yeah, and we used to
it
do
was
this. We
three
used to
minutes of
somehow happen.
coordination between the two of us, and we were able to get it done, right? But now it's like, it's gotten a little tough for us to kind of get schedules to match. I mean, like when we started the show, that time you were not you had just wrapped up, or you were in the process of wrapping up the previous
My last
entity.
startup, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I was
so
actually doing nothing. This was perfect for me to
yeah.
sort of jump back on, do something, get in touch with the tech community again. It was
Mhm.
actually ideal, and I'm really happy we did this, man. I'm really
Yeah.
happy IVM didn't have a tech show already, so
No,
you sort of just let me run with it.
yeah, no, absolutely. And also, my long-term participation was not anticipated, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like when we first started thinking about this, it was like we were thinking about, is it a panel show? Is it an interview show? Is it a conversation show? We're thinking a lot of different things, right? And
Right.
I was there for the first episode, and then I just kind of stuck around and didn't go away because also I enjoy these conversations, right? I mean, like these are
Exactly.
fun
I
for
think
me
you
as
were
well.
too much of a techie to just say that, hey, you know what? I wanna have these fun conversations with
Yeah,
more techie folks. So I
exactly.
think
So
you missed it on your various other shows on IVM probably.
So
So
it's really interesting, right? Because I'm dropping off a bunch of stuff right now, yeah, and it is a interesting this right because I was a guest this morning on Suchita and Varun show Think Fast. Varun is
mhm.
traveling, and so then Suchita asked if I could step in, right, and I did, and it was I mean, like, it was fun to do that because again, you don't get to talk about, we haven't done a Shunya One episode in a month, and so I mean, like that. What's wound up happening is that I do Cyrus, and that's pretty much it these days,
Mhm.
at least for the last month. And going forward, that's probably going to be the case. And even then, I'm not doing that much. So I got shit to say, man. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes. And so yeah, it's
No,
good to
but
be able
you've
to.
you've made it to 170 episodes, Amit. So that's
Yeah,
not a small feat. I think the between the two of us, we've just been knocking them out one by one over
yeah.
the last 5 years,
Yeah.
including the gap year we took.
Yes, we did. So, what did you
Yeah.
say right before we started? You
It's
you
like
put
it's
this.
like a graduation with a gap year. Like we took a
There you
sabbatical.
go. There you go.
That's what we
That's
did.
That's
But this is
exactly what we
like
want to
now
do.
we're in the major leagues. Now the show has grown up. I think
Yeah.
I hope to run it on my own. We're going to be doing some very interesting conversations. Obviously,
Hmm.
we're going to keep it as interesting as we can, as you
Hmm.
guys have come to expect from us. And yeah, I'm going to make sure I have some very cool guests over the
Yeah.
next, you know, many episodes to come, I'm sure.
Hmm.
I remember we celebrated 50, and then we celebrated 100,
Yeah.
and then 150 just went past.
Yes, it
So
did.
yeah, so I think
But
the milestones are gonna get
they'll keep
just
accumulating.
further apart. Yeah, they'll keep
Yeah, no, but they'll
accumulating.
keep accumulating. They'll keep accumulating. We'll keep going through with them. And I think, I mean, like, again, I do see what's being recorded. So, I mean, like, if you have somebody super interesting who I was like, hey, dude, is it okay if I jump in on this? I'll ask you if there's something like that. But,
I'm sure. I'm sure. We'll
but
have you
otherwise,
jump in. We'll have you jump
yeah.
in.
But for the most part, yeah, it really is. I mean, like, scheduling is become a point where I think it's necessary now for this to kind of do
Yeah.
where it just is dependent on one person's schedule rather than three people's schedule. So let's
That's true. And of course, our guests. So, yeah, people are busier, man. I think that's a fact of life.
it
We have
is.
all gotten back to work. Our work life has changed. Life in general, I think everyone's week has changed from the past. I don't
Yeah.
think I can't mentally sort of break out of this half work from home, half work from office mode. It's going to be hybrid. I think that's the future.
Oh,
So
really? Is it?
we
I'm going to office every day.
yeah, but not everyone you interact with is right. So I think you
So,
have to
yeah, that's true.
think about you have to anyone who works with other people outside their office has to sort of be conscious of people are home, people have to
Yeah,
block time, I don't know, weekends. I mean, it's a whole different scene.
it is.
I'm still coming to terms with it.
It's definitely different in the sense that a Zoom call or a video call is not as big a deal as it used to be.
Right.
Pre-pandemic, doing a video call with somebody felt like, oh god, we got to do a video call. All right, let's set this up. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like as natural a part of the kind of process as it is today, right? And you're
Right.
absolutely right, right? I mean, like you asked, like I mean, like we're actually one thing that I'm seeing that we're doing a lot of hybrid meetings. So right,
Yeah. Yeah. Some
in our
people in
new
the office, some people outside.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole new world, a brave new world, I guess, whatever we want to call that. But yes, it's gonna be definitely different.
Yeah, but
Uh,
we will love to have you once in a while, Amit. So you should keep a check on the calendar, and we'll have
I
you
will,
drop in. I guess.
I will
I
do that
guess that's how we do.
yeah, I will every so often. But again, I think yeah, it's unlikely to be very regular. But
No worries. We're gonna try and keep Shunya One exactly the way everyone expects it to be.
mhm.
It's stories from the world of tech, entrepreneurship, and a whole lot more. So look forward to episode 171 and beyond, and we will keep them coming. So reach
Hey,
out to us if
you got to do the
yeah,
last message now. I can't do the last message
exactly,
anymore. So let's
exactly,
hear you do it.
exactly. Exactly. So that's where I was going. So reach out to her. First of all, Amit and I, even though Amit's not going to be on the show, our social media handles. You can talk to us on Twitter. You can write into us, tag us. I know a lot of folks have been, sharing comments over the years over there. And of course, if you're listening to this, then please, please, please tell a friend about Shunya One. Tell someone. Talk to your friends about it online. Share the episode if you like one. Share a funny snippet if you like. If you heard something cool. But yes, spread the word if you think there's some interesting folks coming and saying stuff here. And of course, since you're probably using an app to listen to this, leave us a review, give us a rating. So whether it's Apple, whether it's Google, whether it's any other podcast app, of course, and the IVM app as well. So please go ahead, leave us a rating, leave us a review. That really helps and helps, make Shunya One more visible to the world. So thank you so much, and we will catch you next week.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On All Things Policy, the hosts talk about India approving a fourth COVID 19 vaccine. This time is for children, and they discuss some of the challenges that are involved when you're doing clinical trials for kids.
On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik is joined by Amar Singh Patra, Managing Director of Spotify India, to talk about how Spotify's growth approach was different for India in comparison to other countries. On the Paisa Vaisa podcast, Anupam Gupta is in conversation with Praveen Jadhav, founder and CEO at Dhan. They discuss how stock trading has evolved over the last 10 years. On the Edges and Sledges cricket podcast, Varun and Ashwin dive into the first 3 matches by Team India in the Women's ODI World Cup. They also chat with Mr. Atul Srivastava, founder of SmartCricket.com, about player management. And the Simplified Gang gets into a group discussion about MBA admissions. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platform that you might be listening to us. You can also check us out on YouTube. We have a webpage, ivmpodcast.com/YouTube, where a list of all our channels are. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week: SBI Life Insurance, Bank of Baroda, India Water Portal, and Max Life Insurance. Thank you so much for making this possible.